Okay, we'll go ahead. I guess, Angie, you want to go ahead and make roll call?
Okay. Guillermo Benavides,
Here.
Nick Benavides, Onyx Benavides,
Here.
Daniel de la Rosa,
You need to unmute. You need to unmute.
Edward Ochoa,
Present.
Ofelia Mislan, Luis Ramirez.
Present.
Okay, just come, I mean, I see Mr. De La Rosa on there, the screen, so technically you do have a quorum. I just need him to confirm he's, like, and then I guess, but Nick Benavides just joined the meeting. So you do have a quorum, so you may proceed.
Can you hear me there?
Yes.
Yes.
Can.
I'd like
Okay.
to call this meeting to order at 12:21 p.m. on was it today, the 11th, 2022.
The 10th.
The 10th.
Did y'all hear me?
Yes. But
Yes.
the date was 2/10. It's February the
10th. Sorry about that. Okay, okay, February 10th. I lost the date. And to slow down. All right.
And Mr. Chairman, this is Arturo Garcia, Utilities Director. I just want to apologize. I don't think my staff sent you the minutes review from the last meeting. So I don't have any minutes for you all to approve at the moment.
Okay. Okay. Did he attach an agenda to this?
Yes, we did send the agenda.
Okay, I've got it. This is, do we need to approve this minutes, Arturo, from the last meeting on December 9th?
Do you have them? My staff just informed me.
Yes, I'm looking at them.
Okay, well, if you do have them, if they were sent out, then you can motion, someone can motion to approve the
Okay,
minutes.
I need a motion from the floor to accept the minutes of December, let me see again, December 9th, 2021. Do I hear a motion from the floor?
I'll make that motion.
Can you please identify?
Memo Benavides.
Okay, Memo Benavides, I need a second.
I second the motion.
And identify,
Can you
please.
hear me? Daniel de la Rosa.
Identify yourself. Okay, Daniel.
Daniel de la Rosa.
Yes, got it. I have a motion and a second to accept minutes as read from December 9th, 2021. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Yes.
Okay, motion has been accepted.
Mr. Chairman, for the purposes of this meeting, I would request it if everyone can turn on their cameras, because we're recording this meeting, just so we can have good documentation.
I don't have a camera. I'm calling on a phone line.
That's fine, but those that do have cameras, if we turn them on. Thank you. We can continue, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I can't find my agenda.
Next.
It hasn't been sent to me here in the last minutes but can I have the, who do we have as a vice chair that can have or Arturo, can you read out the agenda, please?
Yeah, the next item is public comments. Item 4 is public comments. I don't know if we have any public comments. Item 5 next.
Okay, in lack of, public comments, I, move on to item 2.
Next item is the water master plan, just a report.
Would you please present, Arturo?
Yes, the water master plan, I just wanted to advise that we're planning a workshop to discuss the water master plan during March, the month of March. The consultants will be making a presentation in a workshop to council and public. So the master plan itself is progressing. We are receiving comments. I don't know if any other consultants that are available, if they want to make comments or just a brief summary. Provide some input. Hector, do you have any?
Yeah. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Hector Peña with Ardura, and we're working on the wastewater side of the master. I have some slides that I can share. I'll be happy to do so if you don't think we have the time to go over that or otherwise. Like Arturo said, we're preparing for that for next month.
Do you have a tentative date for the workshop yet?
I'm presenting that in to get a tally from the membership, from the council, to find out what date is preferable. Once their calendar is set up, then I'll have the date and issue it to everyone.
Thank you.
I went ahead and share my screen. Y'all can see that. I'll go over these real quick, just as an update on where we are. And this is on the 2 projects that we're currently working on, which are the wastewater side portion of the greater master plan, as well as the water quality assessment. And here are the 2 projects listed. And for the integrated wastewater master plan, and before I move on, I believe we have Chris Canonico here with Ardura as well, and Nacho Hinojosa there in our Laredo office may or may not be in the call as well, but just if y'all want to provide any more. Here we're showing just the process of how we're accomplishing the wastewater master plan tasks and where we are. So the tasks here that we have shown in orange is what we have completed so far, and most importantly, out of these are the wastewater flow projections through the next 50 years, so all the way to 2070, which is the ultimate scenario, as well as we've evaluated the linear assets, basically the collection system, as far as the existing conditions, but also hydraulically for the next 50 years based on flow projections. As well as we have updated the model that I'll show here in a minute, and we have developed some scenarios on adding treatment capacity for the treatment. So just like I said, I know we started 20 minutes late, so I don't want all the time, but just this is basically just showing the existing system, what we evaluated here. 900 miles of sewer lines and the 6 wastewater treatment plants, along with the 70 stations. So for the linear assets, we developed this heat map that we're seeing here for basically where we priced replacement or rehab of the collection system types, and of course, red meaning is the highest priority. So we can see there's a high concentration of pipes that need to be prioritized in the downtown area, which moving on to the next slide, we can see that most of those red lines have to do with pipe material. So we can see that over 37% of the sewer lines are a vitrified clay pipe, which are higher priority to be rehabbed and along with pipe material, also the age of the so we can see that over 28% of the pipe was installed at least 42 years ago, if not before that. So This is this is the information that we use along with some work order history from the city to develop this heat map. And so we're putting together a schedule of for the next 50 years so we can as far as life cycle of the linear assets. With that, we also evaluated based on the piece of the system. So like I said, we projected the flows for the next 50 years, but we concentrated mostly on the three major sewer sheds shown here in yellow for Zacate Creek, blue for North Laredo, and orange for. And so those numbers here are those dry weather flow projections, and these are million gallons per day. And we can look at the total. Again, trying to keep it short. We're going from currently 17.7 MGD to 48 MGD projected by 2070. So here's a couple of graphics just to show in terms of percentage of how most of that increase in flow is coming in the south Laredo area. So going from currently 36% of the flow being generated in the south area, shown here in purple, to 60% of it being. There's another graphic showing in terms of actual numbers, where we're going, like I said, from the 17 to the 48 MGD and how which of the storage, which of the two let's make up that amount of flow. We also updated the model. We have finished updating the model as far as the existing conditions. Just as a refresher, the last model update was done in 2015. We have incorporated all the CIP projects that were completed in the last 6 years. We have modeled the flows, and I've included out of all the data that we decided to include these couple graphics that show the wet weather conditions currently on the left side to 2070 on the right side in terms of amount of freeboard that's available. So basically, on the left side, where we see the red dots is where the pipes are at capacity or over capacity, and on the we see that there are some areas here and there, but nothing as major as we see for 2070, where we have high concentration of or overflows or under 2 feet of freeboard, shown here along I-35 and here by Zacate Creek, as well as over here by Del. So we're identifying these areas, and we're evaluating or identifying projects that we can recommend for increasing pipe capacities. We're doing lift station improvements, and once we have those developed, we'll include those in the model and make sure that we have a system that works for the next 50 years based on. And lastly, the wastewater flow projections also affect obviously the treatment capacity. So as I mentioned earlier, the three major wastewater treatment plants have a current capacity of 35 MGD, but like I said, we're projecting to go to 48.8 MGD. So we need to add capacity somewhere out in those wastewater treatment plants. So the regulatory requirement here on the top right, just to keep in mind that our goal developing all these scenarios is to always remain under 90% of the permitted capacity, which is when CCQ requires a big construction of an planned expansion, right? So the five scenarios that we developed is a baseline condition is sticking with the three current plans that we have, and just adding capacity as needed, and I'll show how that looks here in a second. But also, Zacate currently has some improvements that are required to bring the full capacity to what it's rated for, 14 MGD. So that the baseline condition includes basically fixing Zacate and then expanding north and south along the next 50 years in order to treat the required capacity. Then the first alternative is building manadas with a proposed location by I-35 and Mines Road. That would take some of the flow off of Zacate, and so the improvements to Zacate would only require for it to get it to up to 12 MGD. However, that still requires some expansions to north, south, and the Manalas at around 2060 for Manalas for initial MGD. Then we have 3 additional scenarios, whereas adding diversion tunnels. So basically, alternative 2 is sending some flow from Zacate over to the south plant, but keeping Zacate at a current flow of 4 MGD, and the rest, like I said, send it to South Laredo. And then 2B is basically have that same diversion from Zacate to south, but also fixing Zacate. So the flow diversion would be minimal, just at 3 MGD from Zacate to south. And then alternative 3, again, is that same case, but then also sending some of the flow from the north plant to the Zacate. I'll show what the numbers look in terms of cost here in a second, but just we have, I guess I have a slide here for each one of the scenarios, just showing where those proposed space, and then what the total buildable capacity be for each plant. So there's a lot of detail in this slide, but just shows how the breakdown, how we come up with the plant expansions, and at what point in each one of the 5-year intervals. Here's a summary of those capital costs to get those plants to those costs in millions of dollars per each interval for each one of the 5 scenarios, and then and we can see which ones are part of the least. The lowest being the baseline condition, basically, like I said earlier, just that one is doing the Zacate improvements and expanding north and south. We're still in the process of evaluating these. These are some very numbers, but and then we also have to take into account the annual operations costs, which vary within the plans, and each one uses within the $23 billion. Right, so it's incremental. The current operations cost based on we would receive from the city. The current costs are about $10 million per year, but that's increasing, and we would be at around 23.6 or 23.9, depending on which scenario we go with. So that's a quick summary of the wastewater treatment plan wastewater master plan. Sorry, like I said, we're continuing with evaluating these alternatives for treatment capacity. We're identifying projects for each, and the next steps are just to review all this data, and once we finalize our recommendations, we'll put them on the report and submit the draft report so that those projects can be incorporated on the CIP in the future. So Chris, I don't know if you're still on the call, but Renato, if there's anything else you'd like to add, otherwise I'll be happy to answer questions here before we move on to the water quality. That's
Okay, Hector, thank you very much. I don't know, Gene, did you want to make any input on some of the public input that we've gotten, or?
Yes, sir. Just wanted to update on the water side. Three major items. One, obviously, is that we're preparing for the city council's workshop, and we've begun to assemble all of the information that's coming over on the CIP into the master plan. We're also doing some updates to the secondary water proposals that have come in that are also going to be presented at the workshop. We're still waiting for the last of the evaluation from the folks who presented to the committee a few months back on their secondary water project. so that we can incorporate that into the council workshop and again, report those back to this committee as well. And then ultimately, once all that's done, we have a draft of both the water and wastewater master plan. We will be presenting those to the community as well as to this committee and the council in the months after March, after the workshop. So that's kind of where we are with all that at a high level. Apologize that the group from LAN couldn't stay on for the meeting, but that's kind of a high level presentation of where we are. Similar to where we are on the wastewater plan, master plan, they've begun to incorporate all of the data from previous master plans, their current studies, and prepare for a full presentation to council.
Okay, thank you.
Like I said, we also have an quick update here on the water quality assessment and optimization. I think Nacho, I think you're on. I see your name here. So if you wanna take over, I don't know if you wanna share your screen or if you want me to keep.
Mr. Peña, hold on. Let me let the chairman also, I guess we just finished item number 5. That was the water master plan. Now we're moving on to item number 6. And that's the water quality assessment and optimization report. Go ahead. Mr. Chairman, are you? Okay. Go ahead, Hector.
All right, I don't know if Nacho was trying to speak, but he's muted. He may not be there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sorry about that. Do I have any echo or anything? I've been having some technical issues. So thank you, Hector. I'm sorry I'm a little late. I had a little bit of conflict and my previous meeting ran a little longer. But as Hector was mentioning, we have a little bit of update on the water quality assessment and optimization project. As you guys know, we've been working on this project since July, August of last year. And basically the main objective here is to improve and stabilize the water quality in the city's water system. And what we do is we take a source to tap approach, and then the ultimate goal is to attain a superior water system rating from TCEQ, right? And here are just the bullet points of what we've been doing or what the process encumbers. And if you want to go to the next slide, Hector. This is sort of one of the response timelines that we presented to council early on. I don't know if this is the correct slides, I'm sorry, but I'll go through it. Basically, we were selected in council July 26th of 2021, and we were on the ground 2 days later doing a meeting team intro and a project approach description to the utilities department. We went on to doing everything from free chlorine conversion, extension recommendations to the city, to assisting the city with the free chlorine to chloramine conversion on September 2nd. We went on to do various assessments. We started at the water treatment plants. We went over to improving the sampling water quality monitoring plan. And then we moved on further after September 4th. We did a distribution system assessment and a few other technical memorandums were issued subsequently. Yeah, this is not the, can I share my screen? Can I try sharing my screen?
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, this is not the one. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Like I said, I had a meeting that ran long and had some issues. Just 1 second, bear with me. Sorry, Arturo.
You trying to share your screen, Nacho? Is that?
That is correct. Or Hector, let me try to email you real quick. if you don't mind.
Just a brief summary, just a quick brief summary on the major bullet points you've accomplished, because we're running out
Okay,
of.
let me bring it up on my end and I'll just read it up to you. So, 1 second, I have it right here with me.
And for those, I just want to interrupt, for those that are on their phone, if you need to unmute, because everybody currently is muted, you just need to put *6. That could be why your chairman is silent. You just need to put *6 if he needs to unmute.
Okay, so,
Sorry, I was muting through my phone. Can you all hear me now?
Or Mr. Chairman,
Okay. Sorry about that.
no problem.
okay. So, as part of the strategy that we took, we recommended, sorry, I'm reading off my slides now. So, we had a few recommendation groupings, everything from updating chemical feed targets, chemical dosing locations, and associated training. We had additional manual and automatic sampling and monitoring and any associated training with that. We're currently doing some supplemental studies and evaluations. We updated the nitrification action plan in an interim fashion, and we are developing baseline conditions in the water system to submit a final nitrification action plan to TCEQ formally. But the interim has been accepted, and it addressed one of the technical requirements that were noted in an agreed order that was issued to the city by TCEQ on November 2nd for the nitrification issues that occurred in, I believe, July of 2020. So not the last nitrification event, but in 2020. So we've been assisting the city, and there were some immediate recommendations from 0 to 90 days. Like I said, we were boots on the ground. Right now, we're in the 4 to 6 month phase doing supplemental studies and evaluations. Part of the things that we've completed to date, we've done 6 technical memorandums. Like I said, 1 water treatment plan assessment, sampling and monitoring plan, water distribution system assessment. We also provided to council a technical memorandum regarding recognition of public water systems to explain that to them. We are finalizing a chlorine evaporator evaluation at Jefferson Street Water Treatment Plant. We're doing a residual control system evaluation at Las Blancas, and we actually issued a recommendation there so that we can maintain water quality in the 359 area, which has been one of our pressure points historically because of lower water consumption there. And then we also developed a preliminary CIP for the city to address the water quality issues and projects that need to be executed within the next 2 to 5 years. So design really needs to be ongoing right now, and we have to be moving dirt in a few months so that it can be completed, like I said, within that time frame. We also completed an online analyzer evaluation. We presented that to the city. We presented recommendations, and the city has accepted those recommendations, and we're moving towards automating our plants to assist our operators and give them more tools to have control over the treatment process and out in the distribution. We've also implemented some interim flushing strategies, support through just communication, increased communication. I think that's one of the things that Arturo, you've seen morale's up, correct, in the operators. They take pride in their work, and everybody is working in unison, and it's really reflected in the water quality that we're producing right now. I got a call, and this is just an anecdote, but I got a call from one of the operators last month, and he was just calling me to just let me know that they were proud of their guys, that, you know, they've been producing a stable, it's nerdy, but a stable chloramine, right? And that they were proud of the water that they were producing for the city. So anyways, that's just an anecdote. Some of the items in progress right now, we have a caustic system improvement. In a nutshell, what the caustic system is it helps raise the pH of the water. And the pH, why that is important is because a stable chloramine likes to live in basically a pH of 8.3, 8.2 in that area. And right now, our water is coming out of the plant with a pH of 7.5. Now, that's not bad, but that would help, again, stabilize chloramine and help us in the distribution system and help us to mitigate any nitrification in the system, right? We're also doing some chemical feed improvement that's kind of ongoing. We started with just addressing the chlorine pipeline issues that we had early on that everybody that was on social media, but we also moved over to the liquid ammonia sulfate system and doing some improvements there to the lines. We're also doing a chlorine dioxide demand study. That is something that will also improve the chloramination process at the water treatment plants, and it'll help, again, mitigate any possible nitrification in the future. I have a dashboard that I want to share. Let me see if I can get it up real quick, and I think this is the biggest, or Arturo, I don't know if you have access to the dashboard.
I do, but we're running a little bit short.
Out of time. Okay, well, I'll share it with you, and I'll print this out. It shows the improvement, and again, this is all on the operations side, all on the city. The improvement at the water treatment plants and in the distribution system, and how they're using the tools that have come out of this process, and how they've improved, like I said, and it's reflecting every day.
Nacho, excuse me. What I'd like to do is maybe for the next meeting is demonstrate just on the dashboard what we're doing. Do a little 10-minute presentation on the dashboard, because I think that way they
Okay.
can see the results and what parameters we're measuring, just to show what the dashboard is capable of doing.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I had. A couple of screenshots. Like I said, I apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm remoting in. I got the meeting invite last week, so it was a little difficult.
The next meeting will be live, and we can, do an active analysis of the values that we're getting, where the hot spots are, and demonstrate the dashboard to the members.
And I blame Angie for giving me the invitation really late.
And
So
you
it's
didn't
on
send the emails. Jerry does.
I
I
expect
agree.
consultants to be on their toes. They know that this is a routine meeting.
Yeah, we had already decided on day one that the second Thursday of the month was always, it was going to be designated. So if Nacho didn't write it on his calendar, I'm sorry.
I see a
Chairman,
spot,
if I
and I was
may-
like, oh,
Recommend that we take Nacho out to the woodshed.
I agree. I concur.
Is that something we have to second? Just kidding, Nacho.
it's okay.
I think for the next meeting, because of how we're doing it, that we send the agenda the day before the meeting, not a week prior. I know that myself, I get per day maybe 150, 200 emails, and then to go search it. I need to build a folder, but never have time to build one. Just FYI for that in our meetings. I understand what they're talking about, because I lost track of time. I didn't even realize today was Thursday. But FYI for the future. Give us a reminder early in the morning.
What we can do is we
The
can
day
create
of
like
the
a
meeting.
recurring meeting.
We'll do that on the day of the meeting to all the membership.
What else we got, Pluto?
The next item is we finished the water quality assessment. Now, next item is the secondary source water. And just to kind of brief you on that, the Walker Ranch property, they did take some samples of the water, and I just yesterday I got a report. The water quality was not good. It had too many, not pollutants, but they have to treat it. So once I get the
Yeah, minerals and
Once I get the official report from them, I'll go ahead and present it to the membership so I know how it came back. But that's the verbal that I got from the consultant. The next item is the resolution that we presented regarding the groundwater. That was presented by council and it was forwarded to the groundwater district. So that is moving forward. And the request has been submitted. Next item is items for the next meeting. I don't know if there's any comments of what you want to see. The idea that I suggested, I want to present to you the dashboard of the water quality parameters that we're measuring so that you can see the tools that we have available. That's the only other thing that I have from staff. We'll update on all the others.
So I'd like for us to understand the role of our group with the city council. Do we have any teeth in what we want to do, suggestions and everything else? Maybe give us a line item of what can be done, what we need to start concentrating on. I appreciate everybody making the meetings. I know sometimes our schedules are quite busy, but I had a comment from a couple of constituents that said, what do y'all do if they just eat sandwiches on a particular day? And I felt bad because I couldn't respond to say that, well, we have passed this, we've taken this to council, we presented this item or that item, and it really made me feel like they were right on target. They were really not doing much except listening to you guys, which I appreciate all the effort you put into it. And I know it goes a lot of work goes into it to get all these presentations, but we need to go beyond just listening to what you guys are working on and help you pass ordinances or whatever it is that we need to do to facilitate your endeavors in this business. And I'd like to really hear more on what we can do as a group to help the city growth and everything else is going on. Because all you got to do, I'm in the business of real estate, and everywhere I go, my God, it's just unheard of what's going on in this town as far as commercial and residential, industrial. You know, we have competition outside of Laredo, close to the Columbia Bridge or the Columbia overpass on 35, 3,200 acres coming into play. Of course, I know that's not our responsibility, but because we don't have enough land where we're at to continue the growth of our industrial parks, you see ranchers turning their ranches into commercial property. So just FYI that a lot's going on in this town, and I really would love for us to have some teeth in what we do. Welcome anybody else's comments on the same matter or the new agenda, whatever y'all want to put on and talk about. We need to start becoming a little more aggressive, I guess, in my mind.
I like
I yield the floor.
I like to give the mayor, comments after every meeting that I attend, and sometimes, they're skimpy, and maybe it's my lack of taking proper notes and whatever. But I think those of us that are responsible to those that are, appointed us to this committee, they should get some kind of a report, and I try to do that. I believe the mayor, has a lot of confidence in this committee, and I agree with Onyx that perhaps there's a more that we can do more on this committee to further the cause of why we're on it.
Yeah, I want to thank Memo on that because I know he forwarded his notes to me, and then from there I forwarded them to my councilman, and I think he's right on point. They need to know that we're there. A lot of people get appointed and never show up, and the councilman never even knows whether they attend or not till they're off, and we're asking for another appointee. But we need to have a good rapport with our appointee, simply because they have the faith to put us in there, right? And I know that it takes, like I said, it takes an extra effort for everybody to make these meetings. So on that note, anybody else has comments? Okay, Arturo, do we have anything else?
No, I think that does it. And only comment I need to make is what I'm going to share with you at the next meeting. I'm right now with the new interim city manager. he's wanting to identify goals for the department, and I'd like to share those at the next meeting once I've ironed out the goals for the department.
Yeah.
And that way that
When-
gives us
when
some
you-
ideas as to which direction we want to go and how the advisory board can assist.
When you meet with Keith, call me, Arturo. I'd like to attend your meeting, just if anything else, just to show support that we are there supporting you guys.
Okay, I appreciate that, Mr. Chairman.
Anything else, guys, before we?
That's all I have.
The next meeting will be,
Okay,
March 10th. So that
March
Mr.
10th, okay.
Nacho puts it on his calendar. March
We'll,
10th.
we'll let him know. But,
And you know what? March the 10th will be here. As the older I get, the faster these dates are moving. Anyways, I thank you all for your effort and attendance. I need a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
I need a second.
I'll second. Edward?
Okay, I have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned at 1:01 p.m.